Hey guys, so quick update on the channel. So in the last week, I actually got my first strike. I got a warning and then an official strike. And if you don't know, once you get 3 strikes in 90 days, then you basically have a risk of your channel just going away completely. So we don't want to get to that point. We think we figured out the issue. However, you never know because YouTube is not gun friendly. But that being said, some ways you can support the channel, simply just like, subscribing, commenting, all those things, of course. And then also check out We the Free. Our videos are over there, completely uncensored. That is not going to be going away. And then we'll also create a Rumble account here soon. And then follow us on Instagram, Patreon. All of those things really help support the channel. We're really trying to outgrow the censorship. So thanks for your support and thanks for following along. And also a quick reminder, Tanner and I did recently in the last few months leave our jobs. So this is what we are doing full time. We are really trying to make it our livelihood. It is our livelihood and really kind of working off of our savings right now. So any support really means a lot to us. Now with all that being said, let's talk about gun bunnies. Okay, so I've been wanting to discuss this topic for a while now, and it's probably going to ruffle some feathers, but prepare to hear me rant. And just by the way, I do have some notes here. I wanted to make sure I hit all the points that I had in mind, but I'm not speaking from a teleprompter or anything here. And just so you know, this is a little bit of a different video that I'm doing here today, but it is a topic that I want to address. But if you're here just looking for my reviews and educational content, you can go ahead and skip on over, find one of those videos. But if you're wanting to hear my thoughts on gun bunnies and the industry as a whole, then stick around. So first off, what is a gun bunny? Well, for me, a gun bunny is 1, someone who seeks attention using guns as a prop rather than a tool, and 2, someone who uses guns to promote their body, or the opposite, they use their body to promote guns. To me, guns aren't a prop for Instagram. I legitimately get excited about guns and shooting as a sport, hobby, just a passion of mine, and a last resort for defense for me and my family. The Second Amendment means a lot of different things to me. First, it is literally the right to defend myself. Second, it is the backbone of all the other amendments and freedoms that we have. And third, it is honestly just like a lifestyle. It's a recreation, it's a hobby, and it's a way for me to express my competitive spirit. For me and my husband, guns aren't props, although we do have the occasional photo shoot, which is all fun and everything, but at the end of the day, we're shooters first. So now that we've talked about my connection in the industry, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I don't necessarily like in the industry, specifically from a female perspective. And let's just think for a minute, because imagine if the internet was gone tomorrow, who do you think would actually be out there dry firing, competing in local matches, and going out to the range and training, not for likes, followers, anything like that, but because they actually like it and they're wanting to be capable? Those are the kinds of people that I want to surround myself with and the people that I actually respect. And again, I know this may probably ruffle some feathers, but I feel like there is a lack of passion when it comes to certain gun influencers or content creators, personalities, whatever you want to call them, specifically with the women in the industry. When you look at someone's feed and all you see is their face or their body, what are they really promoting? They're not promoting the firearms. They're not promoting education. They're promoting themselves. And that's what really ticks me off. They are not in it for the 2A community. They're not in it for us as a community in general. They're in it for themselves. And I think it's important to realize when someone's passionate about the same thing as you are versus when someone's passionate about themselves. And everything I personally try to do is to bring value, and whether that's educational pieces, even entertainment, it all has a purpose. And yeah, if you go to my really early stuff, you can see a huge shift, because that's when I started focusing more on the community and actually loving what I'm doing versus doing it for views. And the truth is, it can really be exhausting having to feel like you have to prove yourself just because you have long hair and wear mascara. And to explain that a little bit more, I feel like when a lot of what people see when it comes to females and firearms is just these gun bunnies, I feel like that's what most people think of automatically in the industry when they see a female with a gun. And so sometimes I just feel like I have to prove myself, which I'm starting to get over, but it's really just been like an uphill battle of showing that I am capable and I can hold my own.
And I do get the comment a lot that I'm a unicorn, which is simply not true. There are so many other legit female shooters out there. I am lucky because my husband does have years experience of being a creative director and cinematographer. And so he has that passion for firearms, and I have a passion for firearms. So it just fits really well. But like I said, there are so many other female shooters out there. Luckily for me, I have found a good local group of women who I have been able to connect with and share that same passion. Surveys have actually shown that 22% of females own a gun. That's huge, and it has dramatically increased over the years, or just in the recent years. So looking at that, you can assume that 1 in 4 females own a gun, but they're not all OnlyFans models, and they're not all on Instagram promoting that they have a gun. So while 22% of females may own a gun, that doesn't mean that they're all passionate about it. And that's what I'm trying to do, is provide an example of what it's like to be passionate about something and proficient with it. I mean, owning a gun is that first step, but going down that rabbit hole, kind of like what I did here, is that next step to becoming proficient and honestly just having fun with it. What has been really eye-opening to me lately is going to local matches. In fact, the most recent Steel Challenge that I went to, we had an all-female squad. It was a large squad, and apparently that was the first time that's happened, which is amazing. And at first it kind of felt like it was kind of like a girls only club, but it was actually really fun to just be surrounded by females and support each other in that way. A lot of the women I talked to actually just got into competition shooting within the last year. Another trend that I hope is dying is the release of a female gun that is just the same gun, just in Tiffany blue or pink. And if you like those colors, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just assumes that girls can't like black, tan, and OD green. Now, I do feel like it's sometimes hard to find some of those great female influences out there because honestly, there's not a lot of them out on social media, and I feel like the ones who are the most prominent and in your face are the disingenuous gun bunnies. Now, do not get me wrong, and I do not want to discredit any of the good influences out there because there are a lot of great influences out there, such as Lena Michalik, Julie Golob, Kim Rode, Jesse Harrison, and many other good competitive shooters that I would recommend looking into, but I'm just trying to bring a different perspective to the industry and fill some gaps that I see. Now, I am new to the competitive space, so I don't want to act like an expert in this field. However, I feel like I do bring a fresh perspective on the industry. I personally would like to be known as a good shooter who happens to be a female rather than a female shooter. And many people recently have told me there's not a Grantham, Admin, or Demolition Ranch for females. I don't necessarily want to be compared to others or even necessarily want to be the female version of someone else. However, in this case, I do agree. I feel like there are some gaps in the industry, and that's the gap I'm trying to fill, and the service I'm trying to provide to the community to show that you can be taken seriously as a female shooter and you don't need an OnlyFans to get attention. However, I do want to say I do not want to be given an opportunity just because I'm a female. Even though I am proud of who I am, and I think it does matter to a point, qualification should come first and it shouldn't be sacrificed for something like gender. And my main point here is the gun bunny stuff has got to stop. And I know it won't, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to pose. I'm here to shoot, learn, compete, and grow. I want to be a respectable mother and an example for others who are stepping into this space. If I can help shift the narrative even just a little bit, that's the difference I want to make in my life. The future of this space includes women not just holding rifles, but holding our own. And I do want to quickly mention the purpose behind this channel for both me and my husband. Our mission in doing this channel is to build a career off service and passion. My husband and I have spent many years in corporate America, and we have been fortunate to do well for ourselves, but we got to the point where we were just tired of working in an industry in a space that we just didn't care enough about. And so that's what this channel is, something that we absolutely care and are so passionate about. We want to look back and be proud of this and create something that our children, grandchildren, and even our parents and grandparents watching will be proud of. We want to build a channel based off service, education, and passion, and to help give females a better voice in this community. And not to get too religious, but I have had strong impressions to be outwardly patriotic and a strong leader for patriotism. As I look to what we're building as a family, I heavily think about the blessings and the callings that I've been given, and my husband has also been prepared to serve others, and I think this is a way for us to fulfill our calling. And personally, I have received revelation this is what I should be doing, and I have seen God's hand in every step of the way, and I'm not gonna cry. Well, anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I hope to share my love and my passion for the Second Amendment, our freedoms here, this country. I love this country so freaking much. And let's just work to support the people who are truly passionate in this industry. And for all you content creators out there, whether you're male or female, just try to approach content creation with service at heart. And before you press that upload button, think to yourself this one question: what value am I providing today? Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to my rant. Thank you for all your support. And if you are looking to support the channel further, we do have a Patreon down below, so check that out, and we'll catch you in the next episode.